I wanted to love Rogue One after I was slightly disappointed by The Force Awakens, which wasn't bad in any sense of the word, but it was by far the safest possible movie that Disney could have ever made. Unlike The Force Awakens, the trailers did not show the usual glow-stick rave parties, but a return to what's good about Star Wars. Dirty space pirates have chaotic neutral adventures. This is Star Wars. I was expecting something similar to what Halo Reach had been. An enjoyable tale about side characters in a suicide mission. And some parts are pretty well done. The visual art department of the movie deserves an applause, because they recovered what Star Wars should be all along. Dirty. Dirty stormtroopers, dirty wars, dirty pirates doing dirty things. But this is pretty much where the good things end. Rogue One is not a Star Wars movie. And I don't say that because it's a spin-off without the opening crawl. It has the right to be experimental about its genre. I say it because there are certain things which we expect from a Star Wars movie. Wide angles over beautiful vistas. Slow sections with a brilliant soundtrack. Each conflict has meaning. And even in the shitty prequels, they knew how to give each protagonist and line space, importance, and meaning. Even if those lines were shit. There was not a single line that I remember out of this movie that wasn't spoken by a goddamn cameo character. The movie seems to be composed out of scenes filmed with a close angle, giving zero sense of scale to battles. All of the large-scale conflict happens without style or impact, with all of the output of a kid slamming toys together. It's like we're watching one of the Resident Evil movies. No explosions, blows, or shots ever seem to matter that much. And each of the action sequences is just throwaway garbage. The characters seem to fit some sort of entertaining stereotype, but the payoff never happens. Visually, they're boring, and their outfits never clash with the scenery in meaningful ways, something that never quite happened with the franchise. If there's something that The Force Awakens got right more than anything were iconic visuals. No charismatic action figures out of these camouflaged dudes.
You know, this whole camouflage thing for me doesn't work very well. Why is that? Well, because you go in the jungle, I can't see you.
The personalities are even worse. Brought to life by meaningless catchphrases that never seem to match the task at hand. Followed by a wisecracking robot who only seems to appear to say unfunny jokes. Hammered with a jarring sense of the director who followed the Marvel Disney guide on how to make movies in all of the wrong ways. I have no idea if this was executive meddling, or the writer just being plain bad. But some of the exchanges during the movies are downright insulting. Certain callbacks to the beginning of the film, moments in which the viewer is supposed to feel content that the narrative is cohesive, explain themselves as if the audience had attention deficit disorder. This also seems to happen in every single joke the fucking robot tells, some of which are actually explained.
If you have to explain a joke, there is no joke!
So overall, why is it bad? It's a little bit of everything. The quick editing, the close shots, the way it seems to gloss over wonder and amazement, just to make everything quick and spiffy. There's none of the gleeful joy that you usually experience in a Star Wars movie, be it good or bad. And the new orchestral soundtrack is nothing to write home about. So yeah, it's worse than a bad movie. It's a safe, passable one, comparable to a yearly dosage of Call of Duty or Fast and the Furious. The movie's been getting rave reviews. I don't know if there's something that I'm not really seeing, but the member berries seem to be more obvious this time around. Even going as far as to bring back long-dead cast members through ridiculously obvious CGI that makes them look like a big-eyed caricature straight out of Frozen. Maybe it's just me, but I'm used to Star Wars having higher standards. For fuck's sakes, the old games and the books were miles away from this messy thing. I'm just hoping that this is the black sheep of the family. Disney, if you want to make a fun space adventure, you've already done it up once. Darken up the tone, stick some AT-ATs in there, and call it a day. Don't make a horribly generic action flick to tell what should have been a wonderfully meaningful story.